Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals, and they're about to make that very clear. So just kick back and hang with them, because you've earned it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast, episode 30. This is kind of a big deal.
It's a big deal.
No introduction necessary. We're both named Mike. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, both named Mike. On the way here, I was kind of thinking out loud. I was like, man, we went 29 straight weeks.
29 straight weeks. Didn't miss one.
Didn't miss one
Because we were like, people are going to be upset if we don't post an episode. Turns out, nobody cares.
No one cares. No one knows.
No one cares.
Nobody knows.
Nobody even said anything. Nobody was like, yo, where's episode 30? Or like, when's the next episode dropping? Nothing.
There's no riots. There's no hate mail sent.
Yeah. So here we are. This episode is, once again brought to you by the best water company in the world because it comes in a can. It's saving the environment. So don't be scared. It's just water.
Yeah. Dude, I'm slowly getting my family on board. My brother's already in. My brother's already taken. He's already drank the water.
He drank everything that you had brought home.
Mm-hmm. So he's a fan. I think my parents are down. I think the cans just kind of freak them out.
Yeah. The skulls
and stuff.
I get it. I get it.
My niece is kind of not scared. No, but yeah, it's not even like we're not even being fun anymore.
At this point, we're not even like trying to be funny about it. This is just what I drink.
Yeah, I enjoy this a lot. So.
Speaking of things you'll enjoy, so we've been gone for 2 weeks, essentially a week and a half. Mm-hmm. And I went up to Big Bear while I was gone, and I have something for you. I wanted to get you know what it is, but
I know what it is, and I'm so excited.
I figured it'd be better to show you on air. So you guys, since nobody listens, we have to listen to bags. But
yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
That is we got an XL because both ladies that worked at this little shop in Big Bear were under the consensus that it didn't say pre-shrunk cotton, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to shrink as soon as you put it in the washing machine. So
that is amazing.
There it is. And if you don't watch the YouTube version of this show, watch it. If not, it's a raccoon shirt. It's a full body raccoon shirt.
If my body didn't look like a Ninja Turtles, I would take my shirt off. I'd rip my shirt off and I'd put this on right now.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that being said, let's jump in. Let's go ahead and start the show officially because we haven't been here for a while, so it feels like we got a lot to play catch up on. MPHC.
MPHC. This is our mental health check. This is where we basically just kind of check in, see what we're doing, or where we're at mentally, and if there's anything that we've done that week or anything that we're doing to help us, if we're having a good week, what's attributing to that, or if maybe if we're having not the best week, what are we doing to, what kind of coping mechanisms are we doing? So, am I going first?
Yeah, go first.
All right. So mentally, I feel all right. I feel like I've been, if you would have asked me on Friday, I would have been like, I'm spiraling. Like I was so, I'll go into this more when we get into like the week and weekend recap. But, I was on a family vacation, and when I got back, it just felt like there's so many things I needed to do all at once. And so I was just kind of just drained. And I think yesterday I really got to finally sleep for real. I think my body just needed rest. So, yesterday I kind of really started to just feel my mood and my thinking become a little more, positive, less so dark and bleak.
Yeah.
And it was really after I finally took like a long nap. I got off work around, I don't even know what time, yesterday. When I saw you, I got out. That's when I was getting off.
Right around 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went home and I slept from probably like 12 to about 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just felt, then I just felt better. I just felt like I was coming to. And so today, I feel good. I feel like every week I talk about how I've been like walking or trying to walk. I definitely need to get on that.
Yeah.
I need to like, there's a lot of things I need to do.
Get on the workout plan.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think walking would be helpful if I could do that this week. So
Nice.
yeah, that's where I'm at. Where are you at?
I am in the process of doing all this stuff for like the build and all this stuff for like the approvals and permits and all this stuff like that. So that's where we're kind of at. You guys will see more about it in the coming month or so. Like I'm literally just waiting for the go ahead to be like, yeah, go for it. And then that's it, you know? So, that's kind of where I'm at. And then just looking at, you know, like kind of shifting everything financially, looking at everything, making sure that, I'm like not over budget on things like that. It's realistically, it's such a small thing in the big scheme of like everything. Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, it's such a big investment that makes sense, but also is like a big deal. So it's just a lot to think about and consider. And then got back into the swing of like working out again this last week. So that I've felt a lot better on that aspect, even though now it's a fucking 105 when I'm in the garage. Just I definitely gotta get up earlier and get back to that like 4 a.m. training schedule that I was at originally when I.
And are you doing the Body by Andrew workout or?
So I'm building up to it because I have another thing planned, which I don't think I've told you about. I'm going to tell you about afterwards. Uh-huh. So like right now I'm just getting back into the groove of like lifting and shit. And then kind of like almost resetting my body. I'm doing like a lot more calisthenic stuff, like more cardio and everything. And then I'm basically going to restart Andrew's plan as soon as he gives me another plan. And I'll tell you more about that.
I just thought of something awful. But I feel like it'd work.
Just not eat?
No. Well, no. Just like you, like any of our friends that we see, like Jesse, Martin, everyone, we all put like 50 to $100 in.
Yeah.
And in a month we see who loses what.
Let's do it.
Biggest loser.
I'm down. Ty is not allowed.
I'm so competitive. No, Ty can be in it because he's already lost. Like, what can he lose now?
True, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, come on,
Ty.
Come on,
just throw in your $100. I'm down for that. I'm down to do that.
I feel like that's one of the only ways where I could really truly
just to make it a competition, to make it like so aggressively competitive.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever voiced this out loud, but one of the reasons I like doing diets with my brother is because I'm always just like, I don't want to do a diet, man. And the minute I can tell he's losing weight, I'm like, oh.
You get all into it.
I get like super, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I want to be, yeah.
And you have like you almost have like a handicap on your side because he's got kids who, you know, when there's kids around, there's snacks around.
There's snacks everywhere now. It's awesome.
Which is awesome for you right now, but not great for the weight.
Yeah. Also, where I work, it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, really good pastries, coffee. I felt real bad the other day. So, probably shouldn't say this, but I was in the brew line, and Mike saw me, and he was like, hey, what's your order? So I texted him what I wanted, and then I had ordered lox on a bagel. So they're like, oh, you know, like whatever. And then, so he put my order in pretty much before I got up to the front. I still paid for everything, but it was put in beforehand so that we could get everything done and, you know, we could hang out for a little bit. And the person in front of me attempted to order lox, and they're like, oh, we're fresh out. And I was like, whoops.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I don't even know what happened. That's weird. And then I got to the front, and I was like, yeah, I just had the coffee and the lox bagel cream cheese. They're like, no, we're out of lox. And I was like, No, he already put the order in for me. He's like, no, but I think we're out now.
Dude, you know what I think? I think it was a brew miracle because was it right when I got off? Around my break, whenever that was, I had gotten a lox bagel.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I ate it and I was clocking back into my shift, and I got a phone call and I took an order, and as I'm looking at the order, it said no lox.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that just go up? And then when you text me, can I get a lox toast? I was gonna text you back like, oh, we're out, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I went anyway to go ask whoever. I think it was Elena, and she's like, no, we still have some.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, sick. Well,
yeah.
The brew miracle. Lox toast. It's good.
Lox. Yeah.
Our food is good.
Yeah. You guys have really good food. Pastries. It's delicious. Anyways. So that's I love how we went from working out and training to right back to being fat and talking about pastries and snacks. Welcome to our world, kids. This is pretty much what we do all the time.
Yeah, these bodies are not accidents.
So yesterday I went and met up with Mike, and I hadn't seen Mike since the last time we recorded.
Probably, yeah.
So last time we recorded, and then we were there, and my girlfriend texted me and was like, "Oh, what are you up to?" And I said, "I'm with Mike." She's like, "How's it going?" And I was like, this is the longest we've gone without seeing each other in like 2 years, 2.5 years. And she's like, what? And I was like, actually, I meant that as a joke initially, but now that I think about it, this really was the longest that we've gone without hanging out. So.
And Mike showed up in fuckboy shorts.
Oh, I'm wearing them right now. Fuckboy shorts with the quads out. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I wouldn't have thought anything. I feel like they're... Are mine? I feel like they might be the same.
It's the difference is that mine are like the basketball short material, so there's a little more,
Got it.
similar to the gray sweatpant vibe. Even though I don't pack enough heat to rock the gray sweatpants, but that's for another time.
Dude, this is such useless information.
This is info.
Yeah, but I remember in high school, I had these sweats, and I love them because they had sweats with pockets, which is I'm sure has been a thing forever, but. I remember cutting my sweats to like be shorts.
Yeah.
And they're like the greatest thing ever. Like I wore
they're all mangled at the bottom.
Yeah. But they're so comfy because they're sweats but shorts. I used to wear them on MBR shows. That's like, and I wasn't even trying to. I feel like that was like kind of a punk thing, but I didn't feel like I was even trying. It just was so comfortable. Anyways,
my problem with gray sweats is this: it's not the dick print. Like, that's whatever. I'm Asian. They expect that. I'm growing out a shower, that type of deal. But my problem is I sweat a lot, and gray sweatpants show the sweat, right? Yeah. So as a thick boy, you're walking around the mall for like a half hour, and all of a sudden you got that sweat line down the butt crack, or you got sweat on the inside of the thighs, and you're like, oh no, this is not a good look. That's my issue with the gray.
So my issue with the khaki is very similar because it goes through. But I remember on Warped Tour, whatever, fuck, I'll say it. But I remember like having this conscious thought of like, oh, dude, I hope I don't have just like a straight streak down my ass crack, Yeah. And so I would pre-game a little bit.
Pre-game water all over your body.
Make sure it's like I can already see my shorts kind of already getting like, yeah.
Amazing.
So. But I mean, whether I started with that at all, I was drenched by the show, but I just was self-conscious of that, like however long it was, of just being like, there's a streak there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways,
so let's get it real quick. Get into the recap of the week because we got a ton of questions to go over. We're back on the questions this week, so
all right, I'll try to go through this quickly. So mind you, we're 2 weeks. We're a week behind. So the previous week was my dad's 80th birthday. I don't think he appreciates that we use his age when we talk about his birthday.
But see, here's the thing. If you tune into the episode, right now he's calendared. He's got it on his calendar to be here for episode 31, right? Yes. So as long as all goes well, he's going to be here next week. And when you see him, first off, you're going to be like, how's this dude 80 and in better shape than both these young men sitting to his left and right? And that's fair. Also, he doesn't look 80. Like he doesn't
move like an 80-year-old.
Yeah, it's like a testament to like if you really take care of yourself and you're really like you know,
dude.
Like when he just absolutely shit on you that one time.
Yeah. I made like a comment about how like, you know, joking like, oh, dad, like because of dad now we have to live. We're gonna like live forever. My dad's like, I take care of myself. I'm like,
You're like, oh man, that was a nice little backhanded compliment there.
Yeah, but what makes it hard is all that being said is like, I have the proof in front of me of what like a clean, healthy lifestyle is.
Yeah,
I see it, and Taco Bell and meat and
Dude, like my great grandmother was like 100 or in her hundreds. My grandma she lived forever. Like it's, you know, it's like legit. The proof is there. You just take care of yourself and live, you know, a pretty healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is the mobility. Like your dad can out hike us. He can out walk us. He might even be able to bicep curl more than you. Dude, and that's not a joke.
It's not at all.
So, yeah.
So he's, and I mean, I can't imagine him being that boned out that we mentioned his age, but it truly is pretty wild when you see him. It's weird. It's weird for me, and I'm a freaking kid. So my dad had.
And is that what the little vacation was for? Like when you went on the vacation was for his birthday? Okay.
Yeah. So my dad's birthday was on Sunday. And so the next day we were going to leave that night, but we ended up just leaving early Monday morning. And so, you know, my dad wanted to go see, his sister up in San Jose. And so I think from that is when we just figured, let's make a trip of it. And so my sister-in-law and my mother, I think mostly my sister-in-law though, like planned out our whole day, which is pretty rad. And so we had like an itinerary, and we just did a bunch of little stops. Mike and I are being so strong right now. Not going to the ice cream man.
So strong. I hear the ice cream truck.
But yeah. So we went up to we were mostly in Monterey. We were in Monterey for about 2 days. But yeah, it was cool. We stopped in like the I forget all the little beach spots we stopped at. But we saw elephant seals. Nice. Which is cool.
Nice.
We saw otters in the wild. And then just little places to eat. It was cool. It was fun. It was just my parents, myself, and you know my brother and my sister-in-law, and my nieces, and It
was just the whole family.
The whole family. Yeah. We were all in the same. We rented a van, nice. which was cool.
Minivan or did you feel like home like in the tuna?
No. It wasn't. That would have been cool to have like the 16.
Yeah.
We'd all have our own like places to lay and stuff. No, it was just a van. But yeah, it's funny, man, because my nieces they're so cute, but every now and then it's like they just fight and they bicker about little things. But
siblings, man.
Yeah. But then like they'll have these moments where like you'll hear them like singing together in the back.
Yeah.
And you're just like
it's like you and Mario.
We're trying hard to be like, cause like, you know, they play together all the time, but then they also fight each other all the time. So like whenever my brother and I we go and do something, we try to make it like, we're going to go do something cause we like each other. Like we're going to have fun. We don't fight, like that kind of thing. But
they're like, we don't care about that at all.
No. No, it is cool. It's fun. We get to just a bunch of little just sightseeing, and yeah, and then got back, and so earlier. In all fairness, they gave me time. So my dad is pastoring at a church in Paris, and so one of the members had asked if I would sing he asked if I could sing for my dad's birthday, and I was like, no, I can't. It's like too short notice. And then they asked if I could sing for Father's Day, and then asked if I could surprise him. Like they were going to just put special guest and have it be a surprise. And so I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I went on a week vacation with my dad, and I was with him like the entire time. And so there's no time to really practice.
Yeah.
Like at least how and so part of like my whole stress and the whole I said Friday was all crazy.
Yeah.
So we got back late on Thursday night, and then Friday I worked, I had my hair cut, which I had to do. Hung out with one of my friends, and then that night I had to just go out into my car and practice this song for the first time, full volume. Song was called
Jesus volverá.
That would funny.
Was this like a performance, or was it like I'm gonna stand up, like turn your hymnals to page 46?
No, this was like me, man. The song's called "The Father's House." Father's Day, Father's House.
Whose house runs house?
Corey Asbury is who performs it.
Muy interesante.
Yeah. Look, man, this was me. I'm not gonna turn the volume up, but like, went up there full.
Look at you, windbreaker, angel's hat.
I'm not wearing that.
Standing in front of the church, wearing windbreaker and a hat.
Definitely not. I came correct, I think. But anyway, so yeah. So I was able to learn this song, sing it for the first time in about a night's work.
It's impressive.
And yeah, so dude, I didn't think I would be able to surprise my mom, and I almost had to tell my mom because
she was being your mom.
Yeah. And the only reason why I wanted to keep it a surprise for my mom is because knowing my mom, she would have made it so much more extra.
Yeah.
She would have been like...
She would have invited all of us. We would have all been there.
Yeah. There would have been like a slideshow.
There would have been a pop
while I was singing.
Yeah.
You know, there would have been lights and stuff.
We'd have all had cutouts of your face.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this, we think we're joking. We're not. But so yeah, definitely kept it a secret from both of them. And then when I got there, I wanted to like set the camera up because I wanted to get a good view of it and stuff. And the balcony areas were like roped off, and so I was like, oh shit, like I don't want to just go up there. And so that's when I almost asked my mom. I was like, hey mom, can I? I was like, can you come back? Can you come to the back of the church? And so I texted her that, and while I texted her that, I had also asked one of the church members if I can go up there, and I sent the text to my mom. And then I get the text from the church member. It's like, yeah, go up, it's fine. And so I just took off upstairs. And
so
then
she will go looking for you?
So my mom came looking for me.
Yeah.
And so she was just like, hey, did you mean to text me? Because like I wasn't in the back.
Yeah.
I was like, come in the back. And
so they knew you were there. They just didn't know you were singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is also funny because they told me not to come.
Why?
Because I had friends that were going to be at my brother's church.
Oh.
And so, and this is just like my dad. My dad's like, no, like you let him go with his friends. Like we've been together all week.
Yeah. He's like, seriously, I just don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah. He's like, I'm tired. I've seen enough. And so, anyway, so yeah, it worked out. I went up there, sang, and I think I did okay. I can't really watch it back.
Why?
It's because it's I feel like it's good enough for what it was,
but not good enough to replay it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I listened to like most of it just to kind of hear volume wise.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Can we play it here? Can you pull a little snippet?
Yeah.
I mean, not right now. You just send it to me, and I'll put it in. I'll handle it in post.
Dude. That makes me nervous, Michael.
I'll put it in post.
It's gonna be like, yeah, and it's like you only like took like 5 seconds off, like me walking up. It's not the whole thing.
It's just you walking up, and I Photoshop like a hat and a windbreaker on it, but it doesn't quite line up with your body. It just floats.
It's just the audio of my performance, but it's like footage of like MVR.
It's footage of the Ghost Inside video where Vigil is wearing the Mike Perez staple minus the angel hat.
It kind of does look. I was like, is that the Costco? Is that the Costco hat we had? But yeah. So what?
So is that how you guys celebrated Father's Day then? Just the church performance, or did you guys end up doing something?
And then no. So then on for Father's Day we barbecued.
Oh, okay.
My brother barbecued,
Nice.
Dude, my mom got these like fat steaks from Costco.
Dude, Costco's where it's at when it comes to the meat department.
Dude, I was surprised. I was very stoked. But yeah, she got some good cuts, and we watched that in golf.
I invited Mike over to the house for a barbecue Saturday night, but you had plans with some of the brew crew, right? Intern Harry, who you guys might have heard of early on in this series, that never showed up for his internship.
Intern Harry.
So he's still Intern Harry.
Still on the table, Harry.
Is he though? Anyways, so Mike, I'm telling Mike like, yeah, we're gonna barbecue, whatever. He's like, I'll let you know. And then we send him like a picture or video of me grilling and what I'm grilling. I've got burgers on the grill. I got like, dude, a ton of wings. Like we did half lemon pepper, half of the pollo asada dry rub. And Mike's like, wait a minute, that's not vegan? And I was like, no, sir, we're doing real barbecue. Where are you at? Didn't show up. Still didn't show up.
Mike's lady friend is basically, she's more vegetarian, right, than vegan?
Yeah, more vegetarian than anything else.
Yeah. And it's been good when she cooks. It's been good. And that wasn't why I wasn't not going to come.
Yeah, okay.
But I was surprised to see all that meat.
Dude, it's funny because like the grill is full. There's burgers. There's like wings.
So full.
At first, I had like cooked them on high heat, then moved them up to the top rack to kind of slow cook whatever. And then there's just one Impossible burger off to the side in the corner, just one patty.
Yeah, that was.
Dude, speaking of Father's Day, I took my dad out for Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
I took my parents out to the winery, one of the wineries in Temecula. This is the first time I've hung out with my dad on Father's Day, I'm pretty sure, for like 17 years.
Damn.
Because he's always been in Atlanta, and I've been out here since I was 17. And it was definitely interesting. It's kind of nice to be able to be like, yeah, let me take care of the bill. I didn't even look at the check. They're like, here it is. I was like, here, just just take care of it, But it's cool, man. It was definitely nice to like have them here and take them out.
What was the place and what was the menu?
I think Miramonte Winery. I got a burger. My dad got like the firecracker wings. I think my mom got a burger too. And then Karima got the pesto mac and cheese. And then we also ordered like the what's it called? Bread and spreads. So there's like a pesto, like cream cheese. And like
I'm so hungry.
I'm sorry. That's what I keep talking about, like a sun-dried tomato spread and like all the stuff with like fresh baked bread. Yeah. And then we just had like a bottle of wine. So it was cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
very cool. And then what was your week before that?
Really, just we went up to Big Bear, just kind of chilled.
You hiked.
I did. Hiked, got sunburned as hell. But now I'm just dark. But like,
yeah, I think me too. My face was red. Yeah,
I went hiking. That was cool. Ate at a really good. So if you're ever in Big Bear, there's a Thai restaurant like right in downtown, like Old Town, and it is fire. It is so good. And I walked in there with liquid death cans and just like sat them on the table. They're like, "What the hell?" They're like, "Do you guys need water or are you okay?" I was like, "Just a glass of ice, please."
Yeah, we're fine.
And then I took a slow motion video of me pouring the liquid death into the glass, but I was more focused on the phone than the actual thing. I just spilled water all over the table. Like this asshole over here.
Death.
But yeah, it's just been work and that's it. So
sick.
So this is an anniversary today.
Yes.
So first off, we missed a couple things. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Sunday was the official day. Today was the first ever annual holiday, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So today was the first. I think today was the first ever Juneteenth as a federal holiday. So like banks were closed, post office was closed, all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which is
was open.
crazy. That's wild.
Oh, that makes sense then. Why we were so slow.
Yeah,
today.
it's a federal holiday today.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
If you were checking your bank accounts today, all those charges are going to hit tomorrow, so be prepared.
Yay.
All your weekend stuff continued through Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was today. I'm pretty sure that this was the first ever. I could be wrong. I think I'm right.
I don't remember at all.
I think I'm right. I think this is the first time it's been a federal holiday.
Cool.
This month is also it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I got some, statistics like I do. We'll go over it kind of close with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, today, a year ago, Mike Perez graduated from higher learning education.
From the University of that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a year.
So it's been 1 year, and in that year, it's been a roller coaster ride for your mental health.
Yeah.
To say the least. But you're ending out the year strong.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's interesting for your mental health is while you were on this vacation, you got to experience the dating app life in other cities.
Yeah.
Now, I already asked him. He said he did not sneak away from his family to hang out with any chicks.
Wouldn't do that.
You remember that Dane Cook joke? Like, when your friends come in town, they're like, "Where the chicks at, bro?" Like, "Oh, on aisle 7?" Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So you got your experience with dating apps outside of Southern California, and what did you find?
So I found that Southern California, my area to be specific,
Girls don't like you.
it's yeah, it's not. It's I'll just say this: that the minute I got into like Santa Barbara, up,
Yeah.
was the most I've ever gotten on my on these apps.
All of a sudden, like ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
I'm like, I feel like I think I don't know. I'm like, is there not very many Hispanic dudes up this way, or?
And I think the best part about it too is that like Mike is so painfully unaware of how to use these apps that he didn't even know that it was going to change his location while he was traveling. So he got up there and he's like, "Why am I getting all these?"
I was like, "What is happening?" Yeah, and then I quickly realized, I was like, "Oh, they're not from here."
Yeah.
And so
I'm a brown kid in the north.
just a bunch of girls want to disappoint their families. A lot of women want to just give it to their parents.
A lot of women looking to upset their fathers on Father's Day, So that's interesting. Did you make any meaningful connections that you're going to continue talking to?
I think so. I feel like I've gotten past. I'm not mean. I'm not mean, but I'm very. What's the word? I think we talked about this before. Like, I'm just kind of like, well.
So I tried explaining this to somebody this week, and I didn't really know how to explain it. I was like, like when you get to know Mike, there's the Mike that you you see, like there's NBR Mike. He's gonna empower you. He's gonna pick you up. He's gonna lift you up. He's gonna be positive. And I was like, and then there's Mike on the, that you get to know on the day to day, where he's like, he'll tell some jokes. He laughs with the best of them. He'll say some things here and there. And then I was like, then there's mental health Mike, who is like, I'm here to support you, and I'm here to hear your feelings and give you solid emotional advice. I go. Then Mike goes into savage mode, and I was like, and I can't begin to explain savage Mike. And it's a side of Mike that not many people see, and not many people, especially now, get to see as he's gotten older and wiser. But and when I'm explaining this, they're like, "No, I can't see Mike ever like cracking like mean jokes." And I was like, "You should just see the drafts that he has." So You know, and then
So yeah, I'll go.
I go, the best way I can describe it is this. You know how like I know how to turn it on and off, and I can, you know, sit here and have like a very one-on-one conversation with you, and then I can turn around and be the biggest asshole in the room. There's a reason why Mike and I get along. And they're like, I still don't see it with Mike. So you've done a very good job of hiding this.
I've learned how to function in society.
Yeah.
No, it's just one of those things where like I feel like there's a big difference between, and I take this back to even like with MBR stuff. People called us a positive band.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's entirely true. Like I definitely feel like we do try, and there's things like we are uplifting and we try to be uplifting.
Right.
But like we have songs about like some pretty shitty topics or tough topics, and it's like, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, well, I was like, did you not like when people talk to me, they're like, oh, like I didn't think you felt that way about this and this. I'm like, read my lyrics, like some of the stuff I'm not.
I didn't think you said the cuss words.
I'm not happy about this. Yeah. Oh yeah. How I cuss a lot on stage and stuff, or just in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I feel like I was, you know, I'm mindful of my surroundings and stuff, but
there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah. I think my problem is I'm very observant with things. I think I just see things, and I think I'm seeing things for what they are. So it's easier to like make a joke of it rather than just be upset by it.
Yeah.
I think that's anyway. But on dating apps, I feel like I have fun with people just because I don't care.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can keep that mentality if you want to hide your hurt heart.
As I look over at my
and that leads me into the questions. Let's jump into these questions. So
I'm not a dickhead. Just
he can be. All right. So Brad said, "How do you fight for positivity when heartbreak after heartbreak keeps on compounding?"
I think you have to just every day start new. Every day you have to start over, start new. What was it? How do you find?
How do you fight for positivity when heartbreak after heartbreak keeps on compounding?
Yeah, every day is a new opportunity, and it has to be. You can't. It's easier said than done, but you can't have carryover.
Yeah.
And when it comes to relationships, the whole idea of compounding and stuff, like this is okay. So this might fall into like the savage part of my personality. I tell people when they're not ready to date, and it's very easy for me. Some people, because I'm just like, they'll ask like, "Hey, do you think?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
Do you think I'm ready? No.
We've done that to some of our best friends.
Yeah.
One of our best friends.
Yeah.
In particular.
And it's like no, because you're clearly not over this person. You're not over this that last relationship. So you're having this bad carryover into your next one, and so you're starting off on a not a level playing field. You know, when you're still carrying so much. Like obviously you're going to carry things from past relationships, and you know you're going to always have, if something bad happened, you'll probably always have in the back of your mind. I'm talking about just like things that are just like right in front of you, clear as day. Like you're still upset about this, and now you're going to try to date someone else to get. You know, it's just never a good idea.
I think not only that too. Like one thing that I, especially like in the past years, have learned is that like that distance or separation from, you know, whatever's caused that heartbreak, like it sounds so cliche, but the more time you spend away from it, the more you start to see it from like a more unbiased perspective. Yeah. Right. Like the person that could be like the absolute love of your life, you know, you feel that way, and there's validity in what you're feeling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But at the same time, they could be awful to you and for you, but because you're so used to that, you're so used to that company, you're so used to that relationship that like you can't imagine anything else, whether it's good or not. And then that might not just necessarily be with relationships. Like it just could be like, I went through a bad breakup, and then, you know, like my dog died, and then, you know, family got sick, and then like it could just be different heartbreaks that pile up on top of each other. And I think like you have to kind of step back and separate the emotions on situations like that. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a relation, let's say it's relationship based solely, you're in a relationship, you have to be cognizant of when you are ready to move on, right? You might feel like you need to move on, and feel like I need somebody in my life to make me happy. And that's, not necessarily the case. Mm-hmm. But if you find somebody that helps you heal and helps you be like positive and uplifted, that, then yeah, that's something that's good for your life. Right. But at the same time, you have to kind of learn to separate everything and then view it objectively. And as hard as that is, time helps with that.
And what you said is so big. If you can take emotion out of it and see it for what it is and try to make decisions based on that, like you'll find that it's a lot more, things are, there's a lot of gray and everything, but I feel like it makes things a lot easier.
Just like your hair. Man. Sorry.
Dude, my brother had hair dye. I was tempted, dude.
No.
I was tempted.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your statement. It just felt like the right thing to say.
Yeah. No, but yeah, if you're just taking emotions out of things like it, which is way easier said than done, but I think you'll find that like if you're able to like step back and just try to see things for like what they are, not what you hoping they will be or what you think it. Yeah. So, but yeah, good question.
Brad also asked, how do you feel like the world has improved in viewing mental health? What steps still need to be made?
I think the Robin Williams death was a big, like step / push towards mental health, and I think it's one of those, not to sound like negative or like defeatist or anything, but I feel like it's a big step.
Yeah.
Like you're starting to see it a lot more now. People are like talking about it more. There's hashtags, there's things, there's mental health month for men or whatever. But there's still such a long way to go.
I think the gift and the curse of, and we've talked about this on multiple episodes, the gift and the curse of mental health being in, being in the forefront now, is it's opening a lot of people's eyes and perspectives to the concept of mental health, not just for, like specific types of people. It's opening it for everyone, right? And I actually had reposted a clip of like Youngblood and Travis Mills. Shout out to Travis, Riverside Kid. And they're basically talking about mental health and how like, yes, it's a good thing that it's in the forefront. It's a good thing that like people are relating to these songs and relating to this music, but at the same time, it's become a hashtag. So it's like, oh, here's something that everybody's into right now, so we can address it. Right. Same thing, when Dylan was on the show, shout out to Dylan Tyag, he was talking about like social media and how like there are times when they'll talk about different mental health issues or topics, and it's such a generalized point that they're making, and then they go, okay, that explains it, you're done. Like, oh, he's a narcissist, that's it. Yeah. There's no talk about like, how do we address the issue? How do we address that? Right. So I think that with time, kind of just like with everything else, like it's going to be like, there's going to be this big hill to climb, and then eventually it's going to course correct itself, But in the meantime, it is still at least good that it's in the consciousness of everybody.
Yeah, I'll take that over like how it just was like almost like it was almost treated like a conspiracy. Yeah. Like a conspiracy theory. Like, what, mental health? Or that's just for sad and crazy people.
All right. Brad, again, are there any songs that you never released that you wish you released, and have you tried to revisit them?
So there is a version of Ode to Logan, an original version of it that I thought was pretty fun, but the one we released is the better version. There is a song that we have, which we might even
the unreleased song.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the freaking the one that's too heavy for.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cool. I mean, lyrically, I think I stand by it, of course, lyrically, but I just feel like it's not NBR.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not NBR. It's like
it's a much harder version of an NBR.
Yeah, and Daniel, I actually did an Instagram live during the pandemic, and I had Daniel on, and I had recorded, I had done vocals. We have a song. It's done. We have a song.
Yeah.
And Daniel apologized on the live, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. I don't know. I was like in a headspace of like just wanting to write something that's like heavy and crazy, and I really didn't give you a whole lot, like as far as what I do with NBR and that. But anyway, so yeah, we do have an unreleased song. I don't think we have any songs that like we left on the cutting room floor that I'm like, oh, I wish we had that. I feel like anything we moved on from, it was with, I think it was the right move.
Yeah, I have a ton, especially like solo stuff that just start one night.
What's one that if you could have it out?
I don't know. Because there's a lot of things that was just like experimenting. It's those things that like when you like I would just sit and like produce something or write something and then put lyrics to it, and then like you up until like 3 a.m. You're like, this is fucking dope, right? And then you get up the next morning and you play it back and it just sounds like absolute garbage, and you're like, whoops. So there's a ton of like solo stuff, like the Mikey Diamond stuff when it like fizzled, that I had kind of like ready to go, but just, I think I'm done here. So they're just like on the back burner and they're just sitting there. Like, like I'll randomly find like emails or stuff, like tracks in my phone where I've worked with people, and I'm like, oh, I remember this. Oh shit. And I'll send it to Martin, like, Martin, you remember you produced this beat? He's like, what the fuck? You still have this? Like stuff like that. But nothing that I would ever be like, this should be out.
Yeah.
The world should hear this type thing.
Yeah. I definitely have songs that I feel like I'd be a little embarrassed.
Oh, there's definitely songs that I'd be very embarrassed to release, and we just won't talk about them.
Yeah. That's so funny. The late night people. Anyone who's, I mean, I guess you can experience this with school and like writing papers.
Anything,
where it's like everything seems like a good idea when it's late at night.
Yeah, and you're in a groove. Mm-hmm. You're like, this is sick.
And then when you wake up in the morning, you're rested and you have your brain's working again, and you see what you've done, and you're like, oh, okay.
There's a Creative Void song on our EP. I think it's Timeline. If you watch when we played it live at like the first ever Pure Noise showcase up in the Bay, so we played it and there's a video of us performing that song, right? Completely different lyrics, completely different everything, like absolutely different than what actually came out on the EP. And I was like, and I go back and watch that live video, I'm like, wow, that was a shit show. So bad. Because like, I think we had just written it and we went up there and played it. Like, this is a new song. And then it didn't turn out to be that song.
Yeah.
So. All right. Jesse Toka asked, when will you have all the boys on the podcast at once? Well, when we have more mics and more seats.
Yeah.
And
what a shit show that would be.
And what a shit show that would be. We tried to do it. For those of you that don't know this, there is a YouTube only episode where we had some drinks and we sat down with NBR right before the comeback show, and that was that was interesting. That was interesting. Jesse Toka asked, how did you feel about the Impossible Burger?
I didn't have it.
You didn't have it?
I mean, I've had one. Are you talking about just in general?
Yeah. Because it rocked his world when he was here. He was so upset that he liked it.
Oh, when we went. Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. It was good.
All right. Brad asks, how do you combat the instincts of comparison to others?
I mean, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's just something that's hard to do. It's really hard to not, especially whatever it is, career, education, whatever it is you're into, it's hard not to compare yourself or try to measure yourself to someone else. I think there's some I think in some cases it's kind of, to have some kind of measurement to be like, okay, this is where I'd like to get, but to like compare yourself and then to feel like, oh, I should be by this, I should be here by this, or, I go through that like all the time.
Yeah.
I go through that all the time. I'm like, I should be at this point in my life. I should be here, or like, oh man, I had my 20-year reunion.
Yeah, your tween years.
My tween years, but and even with that, it's just hard to be like, oh dang, like.
I think that one of the things. I think that one of the things that we could, this sounds super douchey, right? But I feel like there's some validity to it. I feel like when it comes to like reunions and stuff like that, you see people who are like far more successful than we are. They've made more money, they've got nice houses, they've got whatever. But then there's also the aspect of like, but they spent their entire 20s and now 30s, like just nonstop working just to have that, right? Whereas you have stories to tell, and you have like life experiences, and like you were able to do crazy things. And then the lucky ones have all of that, and it's hard to compare yourself to them because like that's it's we live in a world right now, especially our age and everybody younger than us. We live in a world of social media where everybody posts their coolest shit online.
Their highlight reels.
It's a highlight reel.
It's all highlights.
And like when you look at it from that perspective, like there's no competing and there's no, competition, and there's no way to be like, oh, sick, I'm doing better than this person. So it's tough, man. You have to at some point in time just realize like I just have to focus on me. Right. And then like what's the next step for me? What's the like little wins build up to bigger things. And like you see that, like one of the cool posts that I see are like, just think that like right now you're doing things that 12-year-old you wanted to do, right? You're living life. So you might not be where you want to be, but you're still doing things that the little kid version of you wanted to do. Little kid version of you wanted to play punk rock. Little kid version of you wanted to talk shit to random strangers, and that's kind of where you're at. So it's like small wins, man.
Yeah. And it's so hard. It's so hard not to play that game, but be happy where you're at.
Jesse Toka said, "Did you miss Mike?"
I did. That was probably for you though.
The answer is yes. Yeah. This one's definitely for you. Stephanie said, "Hey, handsome, welcome back to SoCal."
Good to be back.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Thank you, Stephanie. Good to be back.
And Jesse, I said this to Jesse and it fucked him up. And I think he's talked to you about it. But do you believe we're in a simulation since cars and a bus are basically the same size, but a bus has more space?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
How does it fit in the same lane?
And it's, dude, this is like, it's the same lane, and it's not even like, it's like, well, there's a passenger and a driver's seat, both cars, and there's middle.
Yeah.
But
there's an aisle.
There's also benches where like there's multiple people can sit in those, and an aisle.
Yeah. Sometimes double decker.
Sometimes double decker.
Anyways, tune in for Mike Questions Everything coming soon as we're done with the build out.
Yeah.
Brad again asked, "Are there any new bands you're enjoying?"
There was Aaron, who we got to get on the podcast. Aaron, he has a really cool podcast called Growing Up Punk. He sent me a band. They're not new. They were like from like 2006 or something like that. They're sick. Yeah, they're kind of like almost like Thricey, but more like, yeah, they're sick.
Which, by the way, did you see Thrice? Thrice is playing the 20-year anniversary shows, and like they immediately sold out.
Oh,
and they had to add more shows.
Oh, wasn't it for like Illusion of Safety?
Yeah, yeah.
Is Illusion of Safety 20 years old?
I think so.
Oh, jeez.
Let me see.
Man, I feel like new bands.
Yep, 20th anniversary of Illusion of Safety shows. Damn. So it was December, House of Blues, December 17th and 18th, sold out. and then I think they added another show, sold out, and then I think now there's a fourth.
See, I would kill to see that show.
Yeah.
New Thrice.
I like New Thrice, but it's not Thrice.
It's not. I respect it, and I'm happy for people who like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not. I can't get into it. Like I've tried.
It's like old man punk rock.
I think if it was under a different name, because I love Dustin's solo stuff.
Yeah.
I think if it was under a different name, I'd probably be more about it.
Yeah.
But
I can see that.
But to still have, like, because, dude, I think of Phoenix Ignition, like, like Deadbolt Thrice.
Yeah.
Like,
have you checked out the new Greyhaven album? If not, please promise me you will. I have not.
I have not.
I will check that out though. You need to try that ice cream on the corner you passed. Trust it's bomb.com. We always support the folks around here.
Yeah.
Were there any band names you kicked around before settling on NBR? Do you want to say them?
Yeah. Okay. One of them was
Give them one. Let's give them one.
the Disgruntled Postman.
The Disgruntled Postman? That's fair.
We had this one at the time. It seems so dated, but
This is when they post office people were going on rampages and stuff?
that was around the time. That's why we didn't do it,
Okay.
because it became actual real. It actually became
because
real.
it became a real thing.
No, but a name that we had, which it sounds so like we're not from the East Coast,
Yeah.
but we had one of the names we threw around was Ill Humor.
Nice.
It'll hit you later.
No.
Because when you think about, like, we were like 13 years old and we were like thinking of band names, because MBR didn't come about until like when we actually had instruments and became a band. It was like a year and a half later, but yeah. Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wouldn't fit the music you play now.
No, but that was also like there was like 900 bands called Counterclockwise.
What about Counterclockwise?
Counterclocks.
There you go. It's our new punk rock band. TM Walking Blind Podcast 2022. If you could live anywhere in the U.S., where would you want to live? I've lived all over, and I think I'm staying in California.
Yeah. I'd probably move somewhere in California, I think, at this point. There's places where I could live. I don't know if I'd want to live there. Does that make sense? Is that?
Yeah. I think there's places I would definitely like to spend long-term time at.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put down roots there.
Yeah. I think so.
So Jesse asked, why did you name the band NBR? And then why did you name the band Burner State? And then why did I name the band Creative Void? And then why Torture Culture? Let me start.
Yeah, you go first.
Creative Void, I think our name was originally, which is fucking way harder, Controller. Controller was the original name of the band.
Oh, cool name.
And then I think there was already a reggae band that was sick that had the name Controller. So then I think if I remember right, I might be completely wrong, but we were just sitting around and then we said create a void was one of the names that was thrown out there. Mm-hmm. And then Jake was like, well, why don't we just fuck with people and just be create a void, and then we were like, should we put a colon in there? Should we not? So if you actually look at the logo, it says the C is capital and then the A and the V are both capital because it was create a void. But the way we bunched it together was create a void.
Oh, I
then it just stayed that way. So the very first logo, it was a capital C, capital A, capital V.
Yeah, I always thought create a void was sick.
I thought so too. But then it just became
two
words.
I thought you guys made it 2 words just because it's to make it a secret thing or
that kind of was in the end what it was. Mm-hmm. And then Torture Culture, honestly, that name was around before I joined the band. So the band, Jake and Dan and everybody were kind of writing music together and jamming, and Jake already had the idea for the name, and then he kind of floated it to everybody. If you don't know, it's a No Warning record. And then so we were like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then it was just one of those things where like, we're too old to be sitting here thinking of band names, so let's just go with that. Like, just keep torture culture. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
So for no bragging rights, we wanted something like self-deprecating or humble or something like, because it was punk. Like we were like a punk band when we first started, so we wanted like something like the Losers or like something, but no bragging rights came about just because I felt like, and I've always felt this with music in general. It's like for MBR, it's just like, well, you need everyone to make this thing work. And so from like an individual thing, it's like a team thing. It's not my band, it's not our drummer's band, it's not our bassist band. We are the band. Like this is, it's a team thing. That's how I felt or interpreted it. But then also just, I just felt like, it's so, I think it's just cool to not be boastful about shit.
Yeah.
And so from that, and that was another reason for the name, but yeah.
And then where did Burner State come from?
Burner State is because we smoke hella weed. No, we don't. But right now. But no, it can't. Actually, what's funny is it came from. So, in Japan, a attractive woman is known as a burner, and so we're kind of throwing up different ideas for that. I don't know how. I can't remember how we settled on Burner State. Because I think we were gonna be called Burners. Mm-hmm. Or no, Burner, just Burner.
Burner would be good.
Yeah. And then I don't know where the state came from. I think it's just kind of like, it has all kinds of stuff. 'Cause we're from California. And so it's like hard not to have that whole, the weed thing tied to it, but it's whatever. I don't know. I don't even know who came up with it. I don't think I did. I thought the burner idea was funny. Because I think it's like such a funny thing to call.
Yeah.
To call.
These burners over here.
Yeah. We got burner. But yeah. So it kind of came from that. So.
Well, speaking of Burner State, Ty from Burner State chimed in and said, I don't know if anyone has asked this, but if you're in a relationship, are couples costumes a quote unquote must? And to tie off of that, Jesse said, yes, Mike and I are going as the lifeguard and Smiles next year.
I'm the lifeguard. No. Jesse should be the lifeguard.
Jesse should be the lifeguard. Either way, you guys
be Wendy Peppercorn.
I think relationship couples costumes are only acceptable if they're funny.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. It's like nobody wants to see like Fred and Wilma or like things like that. Pebbles and Bam Bam. Like that. Come on. Like, I want to see like the plug in the light socket.
Yeah. Well, or Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton.
That's kind of funny.
The 90s versions, because that's what Sarah and I did.
Yeah.
Had a mullet and everything.
I think like couples costumes, like Ty, what if it was like everybody from Into the Spider-Verse. Things like that. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm into the couples costume things.
Are they a must? No. If they're done right, they're kind of sick.
Yeah. Oh, Station 91 is Reno 911. I almost can't say what.
Dude, you were so damaged by the end of that because you kept falling everywhere and you were
worst
hammered.
Idea, dude. Best and worst idea ever. I was what's his name? The rollerblading. Not Terry.
No, I can't. Was it Terry? I don't know. While you look it up, I'm gonna keep going. Okay. For the questions, there's a couple topics that we threw in here that we're gonna save because we want to actually like go into them and go on. Jesse asked, "When are we getting Walking Blind podcast merch?" Sooner than you think.
Yeah.
If we find enough people to buy them.
Dude, the character's name is Terry Bernardino. It's Nick Swartzen character, the roller skates. I wore roller skates and a ridiculous outfit.
Ridiculous outfit.
I think if anyone saw those outfits that Stacey and I were wearing, we'd probably get canceled.
You might.
Because I don't know if you remember what hers was. Probably shouldn't say it.
I do. It was a different time.
It's a different time, guys.
Jesse asks, are you getting a pet raccoon?
When I can financially support it, I will.
That's fair.
Because right now, you don't want to bring a raccoon into a life that it's not equipped for.
Yeah.
Because they require a lot of attention, and they just need to have their space to do their thing. So,
what is one album you want on vinyl?
I don't have very many vinyls, so
Yeah,
I'd probably want something from like Shai Hulud,
that's fair.
which I'm sure I could get, but
I don't have very much vinyl either. It's one of the things that I like. I get it. It sounds great. It's one of those things that I just never financially took the time to do.
And I don't know if you felt this way, but there was a time in my life where I felt like I could have really gone in.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, but if I buy this, then it sets me on a path.
Then here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And so, I didn't. Yeah.
I think we've talked about this, but if you can go to any show or concert that you wanted to go to, what show would you go to? From Jesse.
Like current or
I think just in general.
in general? I want to see Mind Force. I haven't seen them yet. And they were here and I fucking missed it. My own fault.
Ashley asks, can you talk about ways to help a friend through an anxiety attack? How does one help de-escalate?
Grounding is the best, probably one of the best things to do.
Yeah.
Helping someone. So whether you're going, it's helping a friend. So grounding, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the person to focus on like in the moment things, like things right in front of them. And so what you want to try to get them to do is try to get them to sit down if possible. If there's nothing to sit down, then standing is fine. But then just make them be super aware of everything. So we'll just use, for instance, like we're sitting down. So if I were trying to help Mike, if Mike's going through an anxiety attack, I would tell him just be like, hey, make sure like are both your feet on the ground? And then I'd ask him like, or maybe I ask, again, this is all based on settings. Like take your shoes off.
Yeah.
And then what does the ground feel like? So Mike has rich mahogany floors.
They're dark wood.
They're dark wood. And so I would just ask him like, what do you feel? What do your feet feel? And then, it doesn't matter really what they say. Like let them be ridiculous, let them be as detailed or not or vague as they want. But you want to try to get them to get towards some kind of detail just because you want them to think about something other than what's on their mind. And so then you can have them have their hands on a table. Like, hey, how do you feel? Are your hands sweaty? Are they or you can have them put it on their legs. Like, do your hands feel hot in your legs? Do your legs feel cold? Do your legs feel hot? And then just kind of move your way up. How's your chest feel? What's your breathing like? Can you breathe okay? Do you need help? Do you feel anything in your back? Do you feel anything in your lower back? Do you feel it in your chest? And then, just kind of get them kind of move up. And that's a good way to help someone if you don't know what to do. Another thing too is just to kind of almost like mini shocks to your system. And I've mentioned this on the podcast where biting into a lemon is helpful unless you do that all the time and then you just start eating lemons, which is probably not best for you.
Not best for your enamel.
No. But or if you live in like if someone's going through a panic attack, and then, like let's just say you live somewhere where it's snowing, then have them go outside with like barefoot or something. Don't have them stay out there. Don't get frostbite.
Quick shock to the system.
Yeah, quick shock. Or if it's hot, have them go outside. Or have them go take a cold shower. There's all kinds of the big thing is find a way to get them off track.
Yeah,
because they're on one track and there's a lot of things going through their head, and you want to try to get them like off that track, and usually that'll bring them down. Like grounding seems to be the best when you're helping someone else.
Yeah.
That seems to be the best because you can just find different things. Have them describe something, or that's the other thing too. I'd have them just be like, I'd be like, "What are you holding in your hand?" And they'd be like, "A can." Okay, what color is the can? Green. What kind of green is it? I don't know. Green. Does that green remind you of anything? No.
Beer.
Yeah. Or yeah. Does it look like yeah? What else is on the can? Oh, there's a skull. What kind of skull is it? I don't know. It's a skull. Looks like it's melting.
It's drippy.
Yeah. What? Okay. What colors? You know, things like that. All that is getting them out of what they're thinking about, and so it seems silly, seems weird, but it's helpful.
Nice. And then Ashley also added that don't make fun of the GCal because some of us use them daily to stay on track.
The what?
The GCal, the Google Calendar.
Oh, I need that, I think.
So most of the other questions are for Papa Perez when we have him here.
Cool.
Last two questions. Will Mike and Mike ever make an Under Oath type band? No.
Mm-mm.
No. Sorry, Jesse.
I think the closest we got was the cover we did.
Yeah. And then if you could fuse any genres together for a band, what genres would you blend? I feel like most of it's been done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could be in any band that I'm not in right now, I'd want to be in Maroon 5's Songs About Jane. Whatever genre that was, I want that.
That's fair. All right. So to close this out real quick, because it is Men's Mental Health Month, and there's going to be another episode before we close out this month. So I got some other things to talk about, but so the U.S. male population is 151,781,326, and reported males affected by depression per year is only 6 million. So 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health problem each year. Serious mental illness costs America $193.2 billion in lost earnings per year. And there's 5 major mental health problems that affect men. There's depression. Over 6 million men suffer from depression per year. Male depression often goes undiagnosed. Men are more likely to report fatigue, irritability, loss of interest in work or hobbies, rather than feelings of sadness or worthlessness. And then when it comes to anxiety, approximately 19.1 million American adults ages 18 to 54 have an anxiety disorder. 3,020,000 men have a panic disorder, agoraphobia, or any other phobia. Bipolar disorder affects 2.3 million Americans. An equal amount of men and women develop the illness. The age of onset for men is between 16 and 25 years old. Psychosis and schizophrenia. Approximately 3.5 million people in the U.S. are diagnosed with schizophrenia and is one of the leading causes of disability. 90% of people who are diagnosed with schizophrenia by age 30 are men. And then eating disorders. Males account for an estimated 10% of patients with anorexia or bulimia. And an estimated 35% of those with binge eating disorder. Men with eating disorders are less likely to seek professional help than women. And then, fast facts about suicides. Among the elderly, the highest suicide rates in the U.S. are found in Caucasian men over the age of 85. Male suicides have been on the rise since 2000. Suicide is the 7th leading cause of death among males, accounting for 2.2% of all male deaths in 2011. Gay and bisexual men are more likely to develop mental health disorders than heterosexual men. Gay males are at an increased risk for suicide attempts, especially before the age of 25. More than 4 times as many men as women die by suicide in the U.S. In 2010, a total of 38,364 Americans died by suicide, and over 3/4, or 79% of them, were men. And then risk factors. Factors including social isolation, substance abuse, unemployment, military-related trauma, genetic predisposition, and other mood disorders put individuals at a higher risk for suicide. And then on top of that, you have alcohol dependency and substance abuse. So approximately 1 in 5 men develop alcohol dependency during their lives. Homosexual men are more likely to have higher rates of substance abuse than heterosexual men. And male veterans, regardless of their form of service, experience nearly twice the rate of alcohol and drug use as women. And then just the science of male mental health. Low levels of testosterone are correlated with depression, stress, and mood swings, especially among older men. And then just when it comes to seeking treatment, men are less likely than women to seek help for depression, substance abuse, and stressful life events due to a reluctance to talk, downplaying their symptoms, or social norms. And then if you feel like, like that this affects you and just not everybody. So there are some famous athletes that were like super open about mental health. Terry Bradshaw. We have Brandon Marshall, who was a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Larry Sanders, the center for the Milwaukee Bucks. Earl Campbell. I think it's interesting that these are all like athletes to be like men. You know what I mean? But just on top of that, like and by the way, this like infographic thing came from Mental Health America. So if you want to read up on it, mhanational.org. So if you guys think that you or a loved one are not just men, anybody are experiencing signs of mental illness, they do have like the free, quick and confidential screenings for depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, PTSD, or alcohol and substance abuse problems that you can go online. And even if it's just a quick little look at maybe I am suffering from this. So yeah, keep that in mind. Like, a lot of times, especially when it comes to men's mental health and especially when it comes to this type of shit, it's not talked about a lot, And so hopefully, this is kind of like eye-opening a little bit to everybody.
Yeah. And something I think, just based on like they talk about athletes, but I mean, it's everyone. You talk to people in any line of work. One of our good friends was a nurse, a registered nurse. Yeah. And he battled it. I'm sure if you look at anything, law enforcement, firefighters, military, it's everywhere. And again, this it doesn't hurt to check, for yourself, and it also doesn't hurt to kind of find ways to whether you're feeling any of this stuff at all or you feel good. I think it's just good in general to practice, have coping mechanisms in your life and just have different activities that you can do to kind of just, bring a little bit of light, joy or rest or relief into your life. I think that's just helpful in general that, regardless of if you feel like you have anything or not. So.
Well, that being said, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us at Walking Blind Pod on most things. WalkingBlindPodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us directly. Send us your questions for Papa Perez. He'll be here with us next week, and we can get to the bottom of why Mike is so unhealthy. We will see you guys soon. We love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.